Hey, Darkman here, and welcome to my Naruto The Last review. So, before I actually go over the movie, I'm just going to kind of go over what you get if you order the movie now-ish times. Well, this is something that just comes with it. Yeah. I don't know if you. So the front and the back's pretty cool, and then you just take it out of the sleeve. I personally like this better than this one. I also like the back on this one more than this one. So, but if you order it around now, I don't know if the offer's still up, because I didn't know that this was going to happen when I bought it, because I pre-ordered it. But you also get a 2-page mini comic from the movie. Well, not from the movie, just something that happens after the movie. And then you also get the DVD and the Blu-ray. Yeah, cool. But then you also, this is my favorite part of the case, if you take the two movies out, you can get a full, I don't know how well this will show up on the thing, but you can get a full picture of Naruto from Part 1, Part 2, and the last, and Hinata from Part 1, Part 2, and the last. Pretty cool pictures to me. So, I first saw this movie 2 days ago when it arrived. I did not have the fortune to go and see it in theaters, which sucks because apparently if you went and saw it in theaters at some places you would have gotten a cool poster. Yeah. So, essentially how I wanted to be doing, if it's my manga reviews, I'll be doing it because I recorded in a different room with the curtain up. I'm not going to be putting the curtain up for this. But I think if I do a movie review, I'll be in here without it. And how I'll break up any anime or movie reviews I'll cut it up into story, characters, animation, music. And if it's something like Naruto, I'll do action too, because if it's something like that, then action is going to be one of the driving points that people come to watch it for. And so I'm going to go over a brief summary of the story. So essentially, it's 2 years after the war, and someone named Tonari is trying to awaken a Tensa, I think that's what it's called, yeah. I should probably know my stuff before I review the movie. He's trying to revive a thingamajig, and he needs the Byakugan to get it. So he kidnaps Hanabi, which is shown in the trailers. Then he also tries to kidnap Hinata. But then, only Hanabi gets stolen. And so Shikamaru, Sai, Sakura, Hinata, and Naruto have to go after him and get Hanabi back. And that's really the best summary of the story. I'm thinking here if I should say any more without spoiling it. No, not really. So I thought about it, and I probably shouldn't say any more, else it could get into spoiler territories for anyone who hasn't seen the movie. So without going too far in the spoilers, the all-around story for it, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I know I did an awful job at telling the story in a summary version. You can probably get a better summary off the back of the case than what I gave you. Oh, something I should mention? No, whatever. So, characters is what I'm going to do next. And characters, this is a very character-driven movie. It isn't other Naruto movies or really any Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball movies. Actually, I haven't seen any of the One Piece movies. I don't know why I mentioned them. That they're mainly just action-based for the most part. But then this one, it has 3 super short fights. The final fight of the movie is only 6 minutes long. And so it focuses mainly on Naruto and Hinata and developing their relationship. And something that I really like from this, something that I should probably mention for the story aspect is that it kind of answered some stuff from the end, near the end of the series that like the rest of the series didn't really explain as much as this movie did. So yeah, like what it explained with characters was why when Hinata like told Naruto that she loved him, why they didn't like start like a relationship then. It's because like Naruto didn't understand the difference between like loving a food and a person deeply. Like when people say that like they love this food in like more of a sarcastic voice with compared when they like a person, that's the only way that Naruto knows is sort of like that kidding kind, but to him it isn't kidding. Like he loves ramen, he loves a person. It's the same to him, and I'm glad that it like went over that. Also, it kind of like showed some stuff in their past to show like why Hinata likes Naruto so much. And well, there's like the third character that it focuses on is Tonari. He isn't the best villain ever. He's a pretty bad villain, honestly. Like I think he's better than Kaguya. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Also, if you haven't finished the series, you probably shouldn't be watching this. Just don't. So, but I do feel like he's kind of like a good villain to like try and get in the way of Naruto and Hinata's relationship, which this movie's all about developing the relationship. And I'm fine with that, and it focuses on two of my favorite characters, Hinata being my favorite and Naruto being like in the top 10, somewhere around there. So in the character aspect, I'm having a hard time judging this one because I don't know if I should judge it because I only focused on like a few characters. But something it did is it made me like Sakura like slightly more, because I used to absolutely just like hate her, but then this movie just kind of like take it from like absolute hatred to like almost absolute hatred. That's the best way I can describe it. And I forgot why. I just remember like thinking like while I was watching like, oh, I like you a little bit more now. I don't know why. Okay, and then like I should move on to the animation now. Wait, no, I need to give a score for the characters. I'll give it also an 8 out of 10. Yeah. So, animation. This is something that my brother will probably know. Like no one else really knows this other than like my brother, because I've only watched anime with my brother and sometimes with other people. And this is also how I describe video games is I say it looks pretty, like Bleach, the majority of the anime is a pretty show. Sword Art Online, it's probably the best looking series out there, and it looks pretty. Attack on Titan, it looks pretty. This movie, this animation is gorgeous, especially during those few action scenes. Like whenever Naruto would turn chakra mode, it'd just look amazing. Whenever like he'd bring out like the giant chakra Kurama, it would just look absolutely amazing. Like the animation for this movie in general is just absolutely amazing. So for the animation aspect, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I'd give it an 11 out of 10 if I didn't think that giving it something 11 out of 10 is stupid. Stupid Hunger Games. Alright, so now for the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this movie was very good, but I also noticed that like a lot of it was just taken from the series, so I don't feel like I should give it as the highest amount of points that it should get, because this is all stuff from the series except for like one or two songs, like the end song, which is really good, but that's like one of the only few songs that's not from the series already. But I do feel like some of it was fitting, like say like in the climax of the final fight, it started playing like the Naruto series' main theme, which I felt by that. I don't know if they did something to it, because it sounded like faster, which it made that moment, like the last like minute of the fight, like really awesome. So for soundtrack, I would give it a 9 out of 10, but because the majority of it was taken from the series, which I don't know if some people because like I've seen other like anime movies, like say like the Bleach movies, I don't think that they used any of the soundtracks from the series except for a couple when they were doing those movies. I might be wrong, but I feel like they should come with like different songs for the movies. So I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It would get an 8 or 9, but it, you know, that's the reasons I just explained. And now the action. Again, like what I said at the beginning, this isn't an action-oriented movie. So if that's what you were looking for, this isn't your movie. But the few action scenes that they do have are animated amazingly, as I said, so if you just want to see some like cool animated action or something. Also, the final fight of this movie, it isn't like the best Naruto fight, but it's still a really good fight due to the animation and just like the choreography of the fight. I don't know, I've heard like people say that's not that good. I really enjoyed it. So I'd give the action a 7 out of 10. Alright, so anything left? Oh, I'm also going to like add in like enjoyment. Now, I don't know if this is going to sound like I'm just like praising the movie too much, but this is my favorite anime movie I've ever seen. So I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10 on enjoyment. I don't know if that's like a bad answer or whatever. Well, it's not a bad answer. This is my opinion, so I don't know. So, now at this point, if you don't want any spoilers, then just like click away. Yeah, click away. So, okay, so I want to be like talking over some of my favorite moments that could potentially be spoilery. Actually, wait. If this is a movie that you just wanted to see Sasuke in, don't. He's in it for like 2 scenes, and those 2 scenes are in the trailer. So just don't. And those, well, the scenes aren't very long. They're like 3 seconds long, and I was kind of hoping for like it to be like Naruto and Sasuke to take on Toneri at the end, because you know he's Sutsuki, I think that's how you say it. So I was sitting here thinking like, well then Naruto and Sasuke are probably going to have to team up on him, but no, Naruto just sort of just like one-punched him after a 4-minute fight. But I don't know if that's either like Toneri being like significantly weaker than say like Obito and Madara were, or that Naruto's just gotten stronger. I kind of feel like it's a little bit of both. But at this point I feel like Sasuke is stronger than Naruto, just for the simple fact that like in like a single instant he moved, got that one Hyuga guy back down into like the infirmary place and destroyed a meteorite with the missile, said a one-liner, and like, well, not like a funny one-liner, just like an epic one-liner, and like jumped out before anyone saw him except for Kakashi. So yeah, I feel like he's stronger now. And now something like this, like the cheesiness, like there are some cheesy moments in this movie, especially like the second to last scene, like right before the credits. Like the entire place is just like crumbling down around him, and Naruto and Hinata are just like kind of like prancing through it, like super loving. And like I was sitting there just like thinking like, oh my gosh, really? Just why? But then like in that same scene, it also like one of my favorite parts of the movie happened. It's when Hinata and Naruto are just like running along that like one long stretch of land, and then it shows them in their part 2 forms, and then it like shows them in their part 1s, and then it shows them when they're both super little kids, and Naruto's got like super long Konohamaru scarf. I know it's not from Konohamaru, but it's like super long like that. But like, I had something else I wanted to like say. Something I didn't know. I don't know if this is gonna make me like sound stupid, but I didn't know that Naruto could like make Kurama come out. Like I know he could like do like a giant golden form and they could separate, but I didn't know he could like make actual Kurama appear. That's not something I thought he could do. There's something like I know that there's something else I wanted to mention. This is the one movie I've seen, like the one anime movie I've seen, where it kind of like made me tear up slightly. Like this isn't really a spoiler part, but it made me tear up slightly due to like happiness and a different scene of sadness. And it's like when Hinata first goes off with Toneri, and like that giant hole just gets blasted in the moon, and Naruto's just like falling through it. That was a touching scene to me, and it's also in that same scene when they're like running down that path. That's like what made me like tear up, like happiness, just like yeah. Because like I was sitting there thinking like about time. This is like what I've been wanting ever since like part 2 started, and it's finally happening. So I'm trying to think of anything else I wanted to mention. Oh, so tomorrow I want to be going to see Boruto the movie. I kind of like did this review as kind of like, because I'm not very good at reviewing yet. And also I'm doing it in my head. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, I should say this, this, and this. And like, I was thinking of this at school today, and I was like, oh, hey, that could make a decent review, like 5 out of 10 review. But then like, this is how it also goes when I'm doing like the manga reviews. I'm sitting there like thinking like, oh, okay, so I have this, 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 and this, and this, and this. But then it's just like, the moment the camera trick comes on, it's just like, what was I going to say? But it doesn't matter. I'm probably going to re-review all the Naruto movies one day. So, but tomorrow I am going to go see Boruto the movie, and be expecting a review of that sometime in the next like 3 days, some point. Okay. Like again, this is my favorite anime movie so far, my favorite Naruto movie, whatever. Okay. Well,